Hey everyone, it's Coach Sarah Stakely, and this week's topic is going to be grocery shopping clean. So when I first started eating clean, I definitely took it in baby steps. So maybe I changed one thing a week. Sometimes if I felt comfortable with that one thing that I changed, such as drinking more water, eating more greens, then I would add two things a week. But I took it easy and eased my way into eating clean because it can be a little bit overwhelming. So along with planning out your meals every week, it's important that you know how to navigate your way through the grocery store. Because let's face it, it's kind of set up like a casino. Most grocery stores are large corporations, and they know what they're doing. They have a lot of money behind where they place things, what smells you smell when you walk in the door. And that's why you always want to make sure that you have your Shakeology handy. There's a ton of times that I have Shakeology in my car and my bottle of water. I shake it up and I walk through the grocery store with it because that'll curb my chocolate cravings. So I'll have a chocolate Shakeology. Or it'll just help keep me full so that I'm not tempted into buying something that is maybe unclean or spending more than my budget, because they are sneaky. But you are well on your way to eating clean, and I'd like to congratulate you for that. Your poor eating habits are a thing of the past, and you're ready and a little bit hungry, right? Well, I'm hoping that I can teach you a few things about navigating your way through the grocery store and possibly adding some more protein or just getting your meals down packed as far as eating 5 to 6 small meals a day. But in keeping to the subject of the grocery store, I want to talk to you about how you should shop. So when I go into the grocery store, most grocery stores are designed the same. If yours isn't this way, you'll kind of have to change this a little bit. But most grocery stores from where I'm at, where I live, are designed in the way that when you walk in the door, the first thing you see are your vegetables, your meat counter, your bakery, and then it goes along the back end of the grocery store to your meats, which can be, your fish, your proteins, your fish, your chicken, your beef, your pork, your dairy, and then your dairy and eggs, and then kind of circles back through, and there's like beauty and cosmetics. So, shop the perimeter. Stay on the outside first. Now, I'm not telling you you won't need anything when you're eating clean in those center aisles, but I'll tell you which aisles to stay away from completely. But my challenge to you is to shop the perimeter first, because sometimes you can find it cheaper and might just need a little bit of time, more time prepping, but you'll find it in the perimeter. So the first thing I do is grab all my fruits and vegetables, and then make my way around the perimeter. And then I come back through. Now, what's usually back through after you leave that cosmetic area, after you've left the milk and the eggs and the cheese, is your frozen food section. Now, frozen food can be a little bit tricky. I'm not telling you that you have to cook everything from scratch when you're eating clean, but I am going to tell you that you need to be very aware that they are so tricky when it comes to labels. And at first it might take you a little bit longer to grocery shop, so give yourself time and don't make it an experience where you dread grocery shopping, because we already do anyways. Make it more of a learning experience. You want to start down the frozen food aisle. Stay away from anything that's a meal in a bag. I have to be honest with you, before I started eating clean, I always considered myself a good cook, but I also was I get home at 7 o'clock at night from work, meal in a bag type of person, and that's cooking, right? It's not. So anything that says ready to go, heat and serve, one step, stay away from. chances are it has a lot of ingredients that you will not be able to pronounce. And that's the easiest step to remember. If you can't pronounce it, don't buy it, because chances are it's not going to be accepted into your body in that same way. If your body doesn't know what it's consuming, it's not going to know what to do with it. And if you can't read and say what exactly that product ingredient is, put it back. That's the rule of thumb. Number one, put it back. However, there are some things in the frozen food aisle that you can use, such as frozen fruit. Now you want to make sure the frozen fruit is unsweetened. And you just have to look a little harder for the unsweetened. But those are great in your shakes, great in Greek yogurt, make a smoothie. The second thing would be your vegetables. Now, vegetables that contain, spices or butters or rice, chances are they have preservatives. So what you want to do is just turn the package over, and if it's a bag of green beans, you turn it over, and you'll start to get familiar with certain brands that you can use and stick to. It should only say green beans. If it says anything else, salt, sugar, who knows, put it back and look for something else because it's there. And it should only say one product, green beans, frozen in that bag. And the Steam Fresh, I think Bird's Eye is the one. Steam Fresh, they do make two different kinds. So there's some that are seasoned or buttered, but you will just want to find the, and you stick them in the microwave and they steam. They're super easy. But one ingredient, green beans. One ingredient, corn. So that's an easy way. The other thing I find in the frozen food aisle is Ezekiel bread. Now, Ezekiel bread is kept in the freezer, and you want to do the same at home. Now, you can portion out some into your refrigerator, but always keep it cold because it has live sprouted grain. So the sprouted grain is actually growing while it's put into the bread. So if you leave it out, it'll sprout and it won't be the same. But it's a very good substitute, and it's a very nutrient-dense, high-protein bread. So it's a good substitution if you are a type of person that needs to have an English muffin, a slice of toast in the morning. And I've tried everything that we have in this area as far as Ezekiel bread goes, and the only thing I really wasn't too fond of was the hamburger buns. They're a little hard. But other than that, I love Ezekiel bread. And sometimes it's a great snack with almond butter. They have raisin, cinnamon raisin English muffins. But those are just some tips. So that's your freezer section. So other than those things, get out. I'm talking frozen pizzas, frozen meals, lean cuisines, Weight Watchers meals, not clean. Sorry. So then you want to go to, so if you're working your way up the food aisles, a lot of times you will, after you shop the perimeter, go to the frozen food section. What do you think the two aisles that I completely avoid are? You guessed it, the snack aisle and the soda aisle. I don't keep it in the house. I never was a soda drinker, and I understand that there are some serious soda addictions out there. And it's really sad, and that's a completely other subject that if you'd like help with, I would love to help you, because the things that soda does to your body is ridiculous. Not to mention it can clean your toilet. But the snacks, of course. I mean, we all could snack. If it's in the house, you mindlessly want to eat it. So there are some healthy food options. Food should taste good. Chips are a good one, but if you're a type of person that wants to overeat on snacks, just don't buy them. And, snack on something else. So, next to the canned food aisles. Canned food can definitely be clean and can be an easy kind of bulk item that you have on hand for making soups, crock-pot meals. There's a ton of things you can do with canned food. But you want to make sure the can says low sodium. And that can be your canned tomatoes, your canned beans, definitely for sure, because, I mean, if you make homemade beans, from the bag, more power to you, but they take forever. Your peas, your corn, your tuna, your salmon, but low sodium. So that's the only, thing you want to make sure that you try to find is a low sodium option. Your grains, that's going to be your pasta. Make sure it's whole grain. Even your breads, whole grain breads, Same thing, flip it over. You know, white bread turns to sugar. I mean, Wonder Bread is like eating a piece of cake. So you definitely want to substitute all your white products, white rice, white bread, for whole grains. Usually in the oatmeal / baking aisle, you'll find, and oatmeal, make sure it's not the instant kind. Oatmeal is processed down, and basically the instant is what's kind of left over, and there's no nutrient value to it. So make your oatmeal old-fashioned, and you'll find wheat germ, cream of wheat, quinoa. Can always be found in the cereal / baking aisle, sometimes by the rices, you know, no white rice, brown rice, quinoa. They're great substitutions for white rice. You won't even miss it. And I bet if you have children, they won't miss it either. There's so many things you can do in adding like a stock instead of a water broth to cook things in that you're going to notice a big difference as far as the rices go. Another thing that you'll want to look for in the baking now is your nuts. Some grocery stores will keep them on the perimeter. Usually that's more of your raw nuts, which is what you want. But if you can't find it there, then you want to look for your nuts in the baking aisle. And they need to be unsalted. Sometimes they can be, there's like Emerald makes a cocoa roasted, and it's cacao almonds. They're okay for, you know, a few snacking on if you have that kind of sugary craving or chocolate craving. But if it's not raw, and keep in mind that you can only have a scant handful, about like 11 to 14 nuts. But nuts are usually in the baking aisle. Natural stores, so Whole Foods, whatever is the type of store that you have in your area, can be more expensive for sure. And there's certain things that you can only find at a Whole Foods store. But a lot of times you can save a lot of money when you buy in bulk. So a lot of my staples like quinoa, brown rice, I do buy my fruits and vegetables, and it's only my husband and myself at Costco's or another kind of wholesale. I find that I save a lot of money if I buy it that way. If you're going to buy your meats and your proteins from a wholesale, just again make sure that they are packaged, they're natural or organic, and that they don't have sodium added to them. But buying in bulk can actually save you money because you are going to eliminate the cost of brand packaging. So if they have a long shelf life, definitely buy them in bulk because you'll use it. And oatmeal, I buy at Costco's. Meats and proteins, check your local butcher or a local farm. If you don't have anything like that in your area, then buy in bulk. Buy the family pack of chicken. Definitely make sure that there's that's not frozen, because that tends to have sodium. They'll inject chickens with saline to keep them longer. So you want to try to buy fresh. We have a McGinnis Sisters here, and they have a bulk bag. It's a 10-pound bag of fresh chicken, and they actually get their chicken from a Amish farm. So that's where I get my chicken. I bring it home, I cut it up, 4 ounces for me, 4 ounces, well, sometimes a little bit more for my husband, because he's allowed 6 ounces. Put them in a vacuum seal, throw them in the freezer. So I know that there's nothing added to them. I do that 100% with chicken. We do get our beef from a farmer. My father and our household, my father's household and our household actually split half a cow. So I know what that cow is eating, how it was raised, that it doesn't have any hormones, and it's actually so much better than store-bought meat. It's crazy. But if you don't have that option, then you just want to shop what is best for you. Now, a lot of this information I am getting from the Eat Clean Diet Recharged. Again, the same book. It's very helpful. And I marked a page because I wanted to read some things for you. In speaking with organic, they say to shop organic, and I know there's so many different theories on what is good to buy organic and what you're wasting your money on. And you can do more research on that yourself, but I'd like to read to you what it says in here. So the 12 fruits and vegetables most contaminated by pesticides are apples. Mainly it's your thin skin is what I have seen, or if you can eat the skin. I mean, you eat an apple, some people peel it, but if you can eat the skin, definitely shop organic. So the thinnest skin is apples, bell peppers, celery, cherries, imported grapes, nectarines, peaches, pears, potatoes, raspberries, spinach, and strawberries. And now that's not everything. This is just basically your, staples. 12 fruits and vegetables, a lot of these have thick protective skin, least contaminated by pesticides. So the pesticides cannot penetrate the skin. So it's not as necessary to buy organic. So this may save you some money too while shopping. Clean! I just totally knocked my computer over. So the 12 fruits and vegetables, a lot of these have thick protective skin. So they would be the least contaminated by pesticides. And I'll read to you what they are. Asparagus, avocados. Now asparagus, you eat the whole asparagus, but it's a thicker skin. Asparagus, avocados, bananas, broccoli, cauliflower, corn, kiwis, mangoes, onions, papaya, pineapples, and sweet peas. So those are just some examples as to what, if you would like to start switching over to organic fruits and vegetables, those would be a good place to start. Definitely want to wash all your fruits and vegetables, but I live in a climate where we have winter, and I can't go to a farmer's market and buy fruits and vegetables all year long. It is, however, very fun to shop and cook with the seasons, but a lot of times I need things like tomatoes, and I have to buy them from the grocery store. So when I do buy something that has that thin skin, I try to shop organic. And I find that the money that I spend now that I possibly could save on my health in my future is worth it. But that's something that you can decide, yourself or with your family. But I hope that I helped you today realize that grocery shopping does not have to be scary. And don't be bought into, what's right in front of your face. Because what they do is they take the height of the average person and they put everything that they want to sell you right there. Might be the highest cost. Compare products. Some generics can be so much less expensive and the same quality of a product. So compare labels. And I hope that all this helps you. And if you do have any other questions, feel free to message me. I would love to help you and eliminate some of the struggles in the beginning in hour or 2 hours at the grocery store, if I can. So get busy shopping and eat clean. It definitely makes you feel like $1,000,000, so it's worth it. All right, take care. Bye.